everyone, this is Omega Octave here, ready to deliver on your April general reading for 2020. I was about to pull out a lot of other cards here, try and make this like short and sweet like I like to do, but some like good messages were coming through, so I wanted to take a pause on that and just go over what I have now and keep on going. Quick housekeeping stuff before I jump into that. Please like, subscribe, and by all means, if you feel like any of this resonates for you, you can book a reading with me through the description box down below. I do offer personal readings as well as group readings, and yeah, been having a good time with those. I'm so glad for all of you who have purchased those readings. Mind you, I don't edit my videos, so all of my stumbles and foibles are gonna pop up. Anyway, so yeah, let's jump into it. So in your crowning position, we have the Eight of Swords, the High Priest, the Five of Cups. All of this means nothing to you guys unless I interpret it. So basically, the Eight of Swords here in your crowning position is talking about you blinding yourself or stopping yourself from speaking about what it is that you feel you deserve. So there is an emotional component. So I'll be looking at your emotion here on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, I'll be looking at how you think and kind of logic things out. The middle is what you should be doing. So right now you're in a stagnant kind of space, and for some reason I thought of like ducks in a lake, and I don't know if you guys really like going outside and like just taking a look at some ducks, or almost like this swan-like quality. So one word that I'm hearing is like there's you experience heaven through like nature signs, so like a swan or white bird, or birds might be very significant for you. Feathers as well. You might come across a brown feather and take it home with you, pretend, you know, with your grandkids that it's like a quill. Very specific imagery. So if that resonates with you guys, I am glad. In your logic center, we have here the High Priestess, and that's actually interesting because what that means is that you're dictating your life now through your intuition. So you're looking through your heart space, your heart center, and there's going to be a lot more of that going forward because we're finding more, and this may be the wrong term for it, but more anima or more energy, more fire energy as we enter into the Aries phase of our lives here in the calendar year, lunar year. So happy birthday to all you Aries out there. So this is a fire sign date and or time, and it's all about pushing creativity. So as I said last couple of readings, which were more personal to each sign, this is more of a general reading for the whole month. You're going to be seeing a lot more movement and rather than stagnation. So even if there are difficult times and challenges, there's going to be a lot of flexibility in how you handle that, so long as you remain clear. And so your emotional center here with the Five of Cups is talking about all of these previous wrapped up emotions that you may have had, changing your perspective from a negative point of view to this is something that I can enjoy, and finding enjoyment in the chaos or finding enjoyment in difficult situations will make it easier for you to really push through to what you want. Because if you're stuck in a complaining kind of mode, you're not really actually, again, poor phrasing, you're not actually actualizing on any of your dreams. You are not moving towards your goals. You're kind of, again, stuck. And this is showing so far, and this is why I was stopping from pulling out any more cards, this is showing a huge transformation for a lot of people. Some of you may be getting a new car because I heard of a car dealership, or some of you may be working at a car dealership. So even if it's just for the financial stability that that brings, I don't know how you guys have been hit with COVID and pandemic and whatnot, but where I live currently, a lot of people find that selling is a huge, or being a salesperson is a huge, lucrative kind of professional prospect. So if you're thinking of moving into professions that are more lucrative and buy you more personal time, you'll find more success in that, because you're actually balancing out your intuition and your almost feminine desires to take care of yourself and your family and immediate unit, rather than paying attention to what's happening globally, which there will be a focus on global aspects. And what I heard was, as I was pulling out the cards, was cleaning out like the broom closet. Things aren't being said on a more political or grander scale. So there's a lot of misjudgment that is coming about, a lot of misinterpretations of opinions and what we would call facts. So that hot, messy realm, I really want to stay away from that, but I am curious. I'm going to pull out some clarifiers for it. Political realm for April. And this is for those of you who are interested in that. Otherwise, you know, you can skip ahead in the video. It won't be too long though. All right, one to two cards, come on. Thank you. Yeah, so we're going to see a lot more of a financial balance, a lot more people fighting back in terms of what they deem as, I'm hearing the word equanimity, an equal exchange of energy. So what I am worth monetarily should not speak to what I am worth as a person. So we're seeing a lot of this movement and action kind of balance out the scales, or an attempt to balance out the scales. So there's going to still be a lot of unrest, but nothing like the previous month. It's just going to be an unrest of ideologies that need to come into a clearer worldview, and not letting, on a more personal note, those ideologies affect your day-to-day life as they're affecting your current goals, and will wreak havoc on your clarity. Which right here we have someone who is youthful, thinking again of a new way of creating the world, rewriting the rules. And that is in your do aspect here. For your financial and career gain, you need to start thinking for, again, in general, for the month of April, what is it that, let's get some clarification there. Yeah, what is it that you're shaping the foundation of your vision? For some of you, that could be children, how you take care of children, how you work with children, careers working with children. And I'm also hearing volunteering your time. And this volunteer work could be dealing with people or with animals. I see, three birds here. And again, there's this heavy like nature aspect. I feel like a lot of people are craving of getting away due to all of the political kind of unrest, and unrest probably in your home lives and conflicting views there. There's a lot of personal unrest, and it's like, I really don't like how we're headed, globally. And I'm also not liking the reflection it's showing me of my internal life and family life. So you just may find yourself trying to get away. Again, still people are going to be traveling and remaining safe doing so. Some of you may travel cross country using a train. For some reason, I get that fast motion as well. So Swords always talks about clarity and having that the assurance that things will all work out. And that's really kind of like how you entered the month of March, or rather, you entered the month of March in a more depressive state. Um, I don't know why I heard depresso coffee. Like you've been drinking a lot of coffee because you're depressed or something. Such terrible humor. Anyway, I don't know why I heard that. But some of you may have noticed that your caffeine or food intake was not necessarily to your usual liking. You may have come out with more breakouts, a lot more health issues that are internal. So you could have been working out all throughout your COVID, experience or home experience. You may have the best body in the world, but all of a sudden you have a different ailment that is more internalized. Um, so there's that aspect of health that's coming in right away, but yeah, it's just so funny with your emotions tying into coffee here. So 5 of Cups is like, burning the midnight oil. And then you start ending your March, heading into April with this renewed kind of energy. It's like, okay, I'm hearing dignify what I didn't want to answer with an answer. You kind of found out for yourself what it is that has been bothering you. And it's a lot to do with your emotional standing in a romantic sense. And I'm hearing that a lot of you have been kind of toiling between, well, should I focus on my romance? Should I focus on my career? Should I do this or that? And there's been a lot of things that you've been juggling, excuse me, mentally. And you have found yourself almost like in a state of lack of desire for anything at all. You just kind of, again, left yourself blind here and in stagnant waters. You just wanted to let the air or dust settle. For those of you who, again, are looking at the month of April for a career change, that would be a good time for you, especially mid-month. Those of you who are looking for a promotion, you can look for it closer towards the end of the month, but there are a few of you who will find a promotion or a job better suited to your liking at the beginning of the month. The next card I pulled was the Spirit of Wands. Now, this is talking specifically about your love life. Some of you, again, this is a general reading. So for most of you, you'll want to focus on self, you'll want to focus on career, you'll want to focus on love. There's not really one particular area that, thousands of people who view this will be focusing on, but you might find that it is more consistent with, that's my cat freaking out. I have to he's fine, he's in the bathroom, not bathroom, bedroom. He's all fine and dandy, but he's just freaking out because mommy's out here reading. Anyway, I'll let him out soon enough. So Spirit of Wands is really talking about that, silent pain or silent suffering for me. It's like you don't want to suffer in silence anymore. And when it comes to your love, you might want to, or be like driven. It's not even want, it's like there's this passion, there's this fire. You're going to want to head forward, and actually make an offer or reinstate communication with someone that you were interested in previously, because the month of March was such an awkward month for you guys. Again, in general, it was one of those stagnant months. And here it's reworking what it is that is making you stagnant. I tell you, that cat has no common sense. He really doesn't. I leave him here on the table and he comes over and just wants to move everything. And it's bad enough that my computer likes to shake every so often. So I can't have him up here, just chewing up cards and throwing away my little trinkets. So I feel bad, but c'est la vie. So for Easter, I'm also getting that there might be a lot of deceased loved ones who are coming back to kind of hug you, embrace you, um, show you this purity and love for life, or have you kind of remember or remind you of these like good moments. There's white roses, which to me always symbolize the color white symbolizes purity. Roses usually symbolize romance, but when I think of white roses, I always think of something like giving back to yourself. There's this calm, there's this, fresh start. And in a lot of these, I see yellow roses, which, I also have yellow roses and red and pink roses scattered about here. And I'm also seeing what looks like yellow or white camellias. And I got the image of a honeybee as well. So some of you may be really, again, like I said before, starting to pick up that communication, needing to communicate a lot more, being less combative and just more forward, like delegating the situation. You're going to feel a lot more in charge. So again, I'm throwing out a lot of pieces of content that kind of tie into each other as this reading comes together. This also will kind of tie into this openness to communicate, will tie into your work life. So if you are a salesman, this is an excellent time to stretch those vocal cords. Make sure that you are talking about your profession, that you are not just networking with people who already know about your profession, but people outside of your profession. This is a great time to start investing in your own wealth and business. I'm hearing a lot of female business owners out there are going to be taking a leap of faith. And that's actually going to breed more love into your life. For a lot of people who are looking to start up their own business, doing what you love, or just investing in more of the things that you love to do is actually going to help foster more physical love and attention from a lot of people, because all eyes are going to be on you for your wonderful skills of communication. And nope, this one wants to come out there. Awesome. So this is a really nice read. The last couple cards that I pulled out here are Seven of Wands and then the Witch. This is a different, way of phrasing the magician in traditional tarot. So again, we have that pink, that white. This is the time of Ostara. If you are pagan or witch or Wiccan, you will recognize the season of Ostara and basically the beginning of spring, and what it's like for you to breed new seeds or ideas or passions into your life. So if anything, the month of April is very career focused. It's not like you're outwardly looking in general. Again, it's not like you're outwardly looking for someone to really get into a relationship groove with, there's no lack of intimacy, but it's a sense of like you're catering more to yourself and you're catering more to your business. There's this sense of entrepreneurship and having your eyes on the prize. Again, how you've been feeling is been like these ups and downs, a very cyclical nature. The Seven of Wands is talking about having I don't know why, but I heard like a lot of opportunities, but usually with the Seven of Wands is a battle that battle of ideologies within yourself and with others. But no one's actually battling in this card. It's just someone standing their ground. And again, I think that all kind of ties into the general message for the month of March for a lot of people. You were in a state of stagnation. So from a 7 of Wands, we have the 8 of Swords. So that outward stagnation meeting your inward stagnation, and you wanting to really get over your depresso coffee and move into a state of fulfillment, like you deserve better. There's a better handling or understanding of what you deserve and what you desire, and realizing that the things that you are chasing are not meant for you. This is why we're looking at things from a more intuitive perspective for the month of March. We're thinking of things and feeling them. All right. So we're thinking of things and feeling them through. So there's this like alignment that's coming through for everyone. You know, those decisions that you made in the past month or even 2 months ago might seem pointless, but they might come to fruition now, or I'm hearing, right after April. So it's more of finding ways of motivating yourself to continue, because you know internally, intuitively, that they're going to reap larger rewards for you guys. Some of you may have also given birth recently, not just birth to an idea, but actual childhood, a childhood birth. So and there's like this sense of fear that comes with motherhood, and I'm sensing that there's again a courage that comes with that. You're stepping into a new realm or area of your life that you have not experienced before, and it calls a lot upon your intuition, what you think is going to work for your family and what you ultimately feel is going to work for your family, which can be two very different things if you're not aligned. For example, if you, I'm trying to think of a really good example, but it's almost like debating. Here's one. It's like debating for the first like 5 minutes of your day what it is that you want to do, and then realizing that you feel like doing something else. Maybe you had a set schedule and you understood, hey, I'm gonna, cook and clean, and then I'm gonna work on my business, or then I'm gonna wake up at 5 a.m. and start my new workout routine. And just getting through your schedule has been a struggle, and really works on how consistent and determined you are to fulfill your goals. So all of a sudden, it's more of you paying attention to, all right, I understand that I set up the schedule this way. I want to wake up at 5 a.m., but I am tired. And you're not lacking in consistency. You're just making it kind of work for you at this time. It's like, I don't always have to wake up every day at 5 a.m. Maybe one particular morning you have that energy and that anima to wake up and do a lot of things, and maybe the next day you don't. Perhaps looking at the energies of the week will help you. I don't know why I want to say choreograph. Like this is a long dance that'll help you move through the rhythms. I don't know if you can hear the howling wind, but that'll help you through the rhythms of the week. So usually on Mondays, we're all tired. Monday is a lunar day. So it's all about emotions, about resting and taking time. Sundays are great days because you're praying, to a sun god. It's all about the sun. It's about energy. It's about enjoying, the weather, the time. There's a softness to it. On Mondays, there seems to be a sleepiness to it and it kind of drags on. On Tuesdays, for a lot of people, there's a lot more fire, that anima that I'm talking about. So if you start to just take it easy on yourself and just restructure yourself to a different cycle, you know, some days I feel more energetic during the new moon. Other days I feel more energetic during the full moon. It's fine. It's going with the flow and understanding that there's there's um, there's a lack of worry or fear over the day to day is essentially the message. Um, I hear that there might be some miscommunication between two individuals, most likely within your love sector, relationships, and social life. So uh, I wouldn't be surprised if there was some sort of betrayal between two friends or perceived betrayal between two friends that deals with like paying back debts or money. Um, or again feeling like someone deserves more over another person because they feel like they did a lot more work and someone else is getting the benefit. So basically some mistreatment there. And it can be, worked out. If you have that kind of friendship, it can be worked out. um, Otherwise, another message that's coming through for the month of April is, if you can't work things out, same with your career, if you can't work things out, then they're meant to be dissolved. So there's no sense in pushing things that don't want to work for you. Um, and there's a level of discernment that you need to have, because there's a difference between pushing things that won't work. And you can usually understand what those things are. If you're trying something for months or years on end and you keep ending up with the same problem, the problem may be within you and your belief that you're not deserving enough, or the problem may rely or fall upon what it is that you're chasing, and the fact that maybe that work isn't for you, but something of a familiar kind of take on this similar work is, and you just haven't found it yet. So you need to start exploring your options more. The other thing is, you might be pushing things away as well. This is part of that discernment that is going to be really tricky, because you might be pushing away opportunities that you have manifested. You're like, I really want money, but when money comes, let's say, I don't know, this is going to sound stupid, but let's say you won lotto, but you were like, but I asked the universe to get me a job at Hobart and Smith, made up company. If it exists out there, I have no ties to it. With Hobart and Smith, and you know what? The universe did not answer. They gave me money, free money through the lottery, and I didn't want that. All of this manifestation stuff is bunk. And it's like, you got money though. You don't want to take it, you know? There's that sass. I feel like someone, especially an older female, might come to you with some sass and be like, really, child? This is what you think this is what you think you wanted, and then I give you something else that's far easier, but you still want it the hard way. So just make sure that you're not confusing a difficult situation or a difficult challenge towards a goal as something that you need to push away because you think it's not working out or whatever. Again, it's a really fine line between all of these things that I'm talking about. I think I could go in depth about that, in like a separate chat entirely. But yeah, there are moments in life where you kind of need to recognize what needs to fall away and what is it that I think needs to fall away, but I'm actually pushing away. I'm pushing away a perfectly good opportunity. For your challenge card, and that was the underneath the deck card here, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So a lot of you guys, you got money on your minds. I'm hearing a lot of people, more on the youth side of things, are trying to invest. I'm hearing a lot of people are trying to invest themselves in the right kind of education for themselves, and invest as well in stocks. So people are investing more in financial literacy than they are in educational or liberal arts competency, which sometimes, from my perspective, liberal arts collegiate competency serves no value or has no value. What does have more value to me are practical pursuits, which is not really a shock. There's a lot of earth energy in this reading, especially with the Empress card, the Witch, and you know, the Ace of Pentacles here. Virgos, earth signs, we're all very practical individuals. So when we see a lot of air and we see a lot of fire through the wands, trying to balance, these two aspects of ourselves out, it's trying to find the right words here. It's so that way we can better fulfill our emotional tanks. Earth signs really do run on a secret emotional tank. So when we have a low tank here, we think low of ourselves, low of our experiences. We generate more of that more easily because we're not utilizing our intellectual and intuitive aspects. We're just focusing on two, how we feel and what we're getting, So that's the challenge for the month of April, is if you feel a certain way about the opportunities that are entering your life, understand what you can change and what you cannot. This is why I really enjoy the idea of journaling and having people journal their experiences out, because there's a point in time in self-reflection where speaking with friends for advice or a therapist is beneficial, but again, nothing is better in facilitating the answers that you're looking for than yourself. And that usually happens as you reread what you have written, or give yourself the time to express what it is that you're feeling. Do I want to? One card. All right. So one card from the Work Your Light. This is just like eye candy to me. Hello, child. Awesome. I have roses all around. There's roses in this tarot deck, and there's a rose right now. The ever unfolding rose, cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. And that reiterates kind of what I said with discerning what is it that really needs to fall away. Have you been pushing opportunities of love and affection or of passion away from yourself? Again, that doesn't need to, relate to any kind of relationship. It could, but again, for the month of April, it feels very much like a financial awareness, taking stock of your investments, your worth, from a more monetary standpoint. And I feel with this card as well, there are a lot of people who are going to be creating things like handcrafts and selling that. Yeah, we'll probably hear a lot more discussions on supporting small businesses this month as the last bit of political awareness. A lot of people are going to be suffering monetarily, due to pandemic and other reasons, perhaps, not organizing their books properly, which you should do. Take that as a message or warning. But taking care of your finances, and it's kind of no wonder since, or a no-brainer since the month of April does have to deal a lot with, in the America's tax season. I'm also getting a message of fresh start for a lot of you, which is why I thought this was an excellent reading to begin with. You may be going out to a movie theater, or if you own a movie theater, I got this whole vision of a family owning a movie theater. You know, you might find a new way of reinventing the space within your work life, and finding that it creates a lot more abundance and space for you all. The last kind of card is coming from the Divine Abundance Oracle deck, and it says here, companionship. Giving someone your complete presence is an astonishing gift. Again, you guys are going to be talking, being a little bit more of a social butterfly or a buzzing bee. And I feel like if you were pushing people away who genuinely love you, this is resting in the knowledge that they still love you. There's this sense of companionship. They will understand you regardless, but you may owe them answers. It's, if you keep popping in and out of someone's life, it's sometimes nice to understand where you're coming from and why it's so difficult to communicate, especially if it's someone you love deeply and have an enriched, kind of relationship. Last card, no card, bottom card. And yellow. See, you guys are going to be taking some sort of trip, some sort of getaway. And yellow is going to be a wonderful color for you guys. Again, it breeds friendship, joy, that companionship, that community. And it doesn't have to deal necessarily with, sexual relations. This is just a nice, amicable kind of month. I think everybody's going to be wonderful with how warm and vibrant it's going to be for at least a part of the US. Some of you might be still freezing. Sorry. Oh, yellow also relates to gold. So blue is talking about your throat chakra. So again, make people aware of your business, of what it is that your goals are. It's also turning away from that depressed feeling, that seasonal depression, if you guys get that, turning away from those feelings and heading towards the sun. We're heading into summertime, guys. So happy. I'm ready for it. When you make divine intelligence your foundation, you finally have a fixed star to follow. And again, that's that intuition. That's that high priestess, that empress energy that you're going to be getting. I said earlier in the reading that there may be some deceased loved ones that come to visit you guys during Easter. Easter tends to be the time of also the deceased coming back just to say hello. So if anything, I would have some food or offering out, like flowers, yellow flowers out for them. And taking on gentle, soothing walks. And you might start to actually feel this internal guidance. It doesn't have to be a harsh, like in all these scary movies, they have a creepy voice in your ear. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you get that creepy, breathy voice that says hello, and you're not expecting it. Other times it's much more of an internal guidance. It's like, oh, I should wake up earlier. Why? I have no idea why, but I want to get the hell out of here. I'm feeling, a certain type of way about this environment. And you leave, and then, shortly after something, wonderful or terrible happens, whatever it might be. A lot of people tend to always go for the traumatic and dramatic when dealing with tarot cards, and that's rarely the case, if ever. Everything is subtle. So I hope you enjoyed your general monthly read for April. If there are any additional messages that come through, I'll be sure to relay that to you guys, because I love this stuff. It's always fun getting into a new energy for the month or coming month. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about the numerological standpoint, but see, there's something for everybody. I'll see if your personal readings will have more in-depth information regarding the general month of April. Anyway, again, housekeeping. If you would like to book a reading with me, please visit Omega Octave on Instagram or omegaoctave.com. You can book either on my social media page there or through my website. I am going to be late for an event. But yeah, I do offer personal readings and group readings for those of you who might be frightened or just, want to enjoy your time with some friends over Zoom and a glass of wine. And yeah, it's always a good time, essentially. Um, those group readings tend to be a lot more cost effective because I offer groups of 4 people, groups of 8 people, and those readings are usually 15 minutes long per person. And I try to give us a little bit more buffer time in case we all just start chatting. Um, it's been quite successful. A lot of people have been taking up that challenge of group readings. Again, I think it's that whole isolation bit. We don't want to be isolated anymore. But if you do have personal reading questions, I have personal reading options for you guys. I believe there's a 30-minute option and a 1-hour option. Again, it's up to you on how you would like to go about doing that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I know I did. And like and subscribe. All right. Blessed be. Bye.